All right, here I'm is. I didn't think I was going to be here tonight because I lost my phone. But as you can see, I found it. And here we are breaking on through with me and you on a Tuesday night, and everything's all right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Mike Thrower's up in Raleigh, but he's tuning in anyway. Did you go see my brother today, Mike? There's Clinton Zilla, Wesley Dixon, Chris Wilson. The gang's all here. There's Matt Gaston. Oh, boy, I got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's see. All right. First thing, of course, I'm going to talk about is this weekend's show at Ground Zero, a 28-year birthday for Ground Zero, the South's premier dance hall. And I'm going to tell you what, it was a knockdown, drag-out rock and roll party in the street like it always is when you get Antiseen, I Hate God, and J.D. Pincus all on the same bill at the same time. It's so entertaining that it's almost a crime. But luckily no one got arrested, and everyone seemed to be having a really good time. I tell you what, I had talked to each of the members of Antiseen over the last 2 days, because if we're being 100% and completely honest, at the show, I hardly spoke to any of them at all. I think I spoke to Malcolm more than anyone. And, man, it's like we all just showed up, loaded in, got it together, did sound check, and then we all kind of went our separate ways and met each other again on stage. No practice, nothing, and pulled it on. And I made the mistake of telling Malcolm that I was surprised at how well it all. But I was not, you know what? I'm not surprised at all. Not with the Ultra lineup. There's a reason we're called the Ultra lineup. And I was not surprised. The word I was looking for was I was pleased. Pleased that everything went so smooth. Thanks for everybody that came out. Had a little rock and roll hoochie coo with us. Mondo Braswell manning the merch stand. Brandon Yeti, Road Dog, the Zillas helping out wherever they could. I'll tell you, Clinton Zilla's a good guy to have around at the end of the night. I may have been scarce, but I saw all that. Oh, Brian Hugo's with us tonight from the great state of California. Let's see. Okay, here's some things I want to say. Man, the kids shirts that I had done for toddlers, man, that's done really. They've done really well. A bunch of those have gone out of here. I don't have very many left at all. I may have to do a reorder with my brother. So far, I've had one person besides I took a picture of little Coleman. One person sent a picture of their kid wearing one. Man, if any of you out there are listening, either with me live or on the replay, sometime during the week, and you bought some of them shirts or one of them shirts, man, please take a picture of your little one. We'd love to see it. If you don't want it posted, you just say, hey, man, I got to tell you something. I don't want this posted. And I won't do it. But yeah, but Matt ordered quite a assortment. You gonna get me a picture of the brood wearing them there, Matt? Man, I was on my way down to Spartanburg on Saturday. I drove by myself because I was headed down that way anyway, and it's just easier to come back from Ground Zero and go straight to my house. But I stopped in at the Flying J there at the state line. And I answered Nature's call. And I'm walking out of the bathroom, and someone goes, hey, excuse me, sir. I really like your shirt. And I turn around and make sure he's talking to me. He was talking to me. And I looked down at my shirt to see which one I was wearing. Because I always, I never look, I don't know what I'm wearing. I know what I'm wearing today because I'm going to talk about this here in a little bit. But, man, I turned around and I swear I thought I was looking at Bobby Lashley. Because he was an African-American gentleman, and I'm telling you what, he looks like he has spent some time in a gym. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he goes, do you like deathmatch wrestling? I'm like, yeah. And he asked me, do you know Madman Pondo? I said, yeah, I know Pondo. I said, I know Necro too. And he introduced himself as Tyson. And when he started telling me that he was on the Japanese tour with those fellas, I remembered seeing him in some of the pictures. But it's a small world. It turns out he was going to a booking in Gastonia. And I told him, well, I'm on the way to a booking in Spartanburg. So we were crossing paths. And then, you know, a few pleasantries. I took time to get a picture with him. But nice fella. I look forward to seeing him in some mat pounding action one day. Hopefully with Pondo and the boys. We got some stuff added to the Big Cartel Store. We got posters from the 28-year anniversary of Ground Zero, and they were designed by Dave Norton, our main photographer, graphics design man. And he got these flyers done, and I picked one up while I was out there talking to Mondo for something, and I picked it up, man, and it's not regular paper, man. It's like vinyl canvas. I picked it up, and I was like, what the hell is this? And Mondo's like, oh, that's what the poster, and the posters are printed on this textured stuff. I thought we had Antiseen mud flaps. I'm like, I don't remember giving the green light on that, but hey, if people are buying them. Also, a reflective Mylar sticker. You get the two of them together. They're very, very limited. We sold quite a bit of them at the show, and I got a few left over. I know it's it's not very likely that people will want to buy something from a show they weren't at, but should you decide to, I got them for you. Also, we got the Green Ape shirts. Army green shirts of apes shooting crusty punks in the cornfield. What is there not to like about all that? I did a run of these, man. We did this screen print, right? We did this design about 30 years ago when we were working for Repo and Repo Cheapo. We had our own line of shirts, and this is one of them. I found the film, and I had my brother do something, man. I got a small run, and I'm not. They're not on the Big Cartel Store. I'm just selling them direct on my page. You just go to my page. You'll see a post about it if you want one. You know. I know a lot of guys that dig the 70s blaxploitation, and especially dig Pam Grier. So, also, by the time we get off here tonight, I will add the Antiseen I Hate God split cassette tape, brand new. Made its debut on Saturday night on TPOS Records and Tapes. Records, tapes, DVDs, and film works. So it'll be on the page here in about an hour, I guess. Yeah, Dylan says those green shirts go well with the camo Antiseen hat. I got another batch of them coming in too. It's going to end up that's the only hat I'm going to have for a while, I guess. Everything else is in such small quantities. So if you want any of what's left, you might want to go ahead and get on that right quick. Okay, yeah, I talked about this already. I don't think Dale Elmore, he's here with us tonight. Dale, you did a damn good video of the show. It's on the Antiseen page. If y'all want to go and relive it or see it for the first time, it's there. You can watch it. And you can pretend that you were there front row, because Dale was. But if you're going, damn, Jeff Lee, I don't want to watch Snoopy. I want to see Antiseen live, son. You got to tell me. And I'm going to tell you right now. The next time that you will get to see the world's greatest rock and roll band in the world live is September 1st in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Beer Olympics at the Masquerade. Now, that's the third night of a 3-night deal now. So, you look this up on Facebook. Beer Olympics 2024. Tickets are already on sale. They're flying away. Man, if you want to get one, you might want to get one soon. If you wait till the week of, you might be SOL. The night we're playing is Antiseen, everybody's favorite little rockin' teenage combo, and the legendary Anti-Heroes. On one stage, one right after another, Atlanta, Georgia. What more do you need? I'll tell you what. You got some questions, you might want to ask them too, because I thought my format was going to last a little longer than this, and it's winding down right quick. I'm going to have some more guest interviewers on here. Jeff Williams is going to come back on the show sometime in the middle of July. We haven't pinned the date down yet, but I will get with him soon. And we'll make that happen. Mondo, you planning on coming back on sometime? Are you here? You're here, aren't you, Mondo? You know what Mondo should have done is filmed one of these late night drives home that we have when he's talking to me while I'm driving now. That's an interview. So you got water spit on you. Who did that? Who done that? Always at our shows you get to talk to people you hadn't seen in a long time, but unfortunately it's always in very small bursts of conversation. It's never enough time. I saw people I only got to really say hello to. Mondo says he's coming back on. He's got more questions. Speaking of more questions, you need to ask some questions to Malcolm 10 on 10 Talks Tunes tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Man, I like the 7 p.m. start time now. If there's something you want to hear about that I can explain or explain in about 15 minutes, go ahead and shoot it up on here. I'll be keeping an eye on it. I got a couple of more things I want to talk about. I just want to tell you something. I have a new enemy. It's not a new enemy, but my rivalry with this enemy is getting more intense every day, and that is with the United States Treasury and their acolytes, the Internal Revenue Service. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. I don't know. This thing may get jerked off of Facebook for talking against the regime, but even if you see stuff on Big Cartel, man, if you don't want to pay the shakedown fees and stuff, man, I know it is a gamble. But man, anybody that goes on there, tallies that up, figures out what the shipping would be, and you send me cash, I promise you, it will be worth your time. I'm not just going to give you, well, you ordered this record and this t-shirt, let me throw these in a box. Oh no. You provide me with cold hard cash, I am going to make you glad you did. Oh yeah. Defund the IRS. Now, I guess we should email first, that that's what's going on. But, yeah. I will always put something in there to make you go, you know what, I'm glad I sent the cold hard green to the unimpeachable president for life, because I got this extra good shite right here, and I am very pleased. Now, I want to talk about something. Let's see, Dylan wants to know, what is the worst weather the band had to drive through on tour? Man, I'll tell you, 40 years of being in a band that travels, we have seen some crazy stuff, man. We have driven right through hurricanes. We have played big shows where hurricanes were a threat. We drove through Oklahoma just like a day after some of those gigantic tornadoes did terrible, terrible damage. But like we even had a show, and this is oh man, I don't know how many, 30 something years ago. When was Hurricane Hugo? That was in the 90s. But we drove down to Myrtle Beach just a week or so or two after Hugo, and man, I'm telling you, I mean, it looks completely different now, but when we were going down toward the South Carolina coast, there's, on the way down there's fields and fields and fields of pine trees. And man, for as far as the eye could see, we were seeing all these things snapped in half about a third of the way up, and just all laying in the same direction, like something came through there and just, I mean, it must have sounded like a bomb going off. It's 91, right, Mondo. Matter of fact, the first time Brian's up in Eureka, California, right, Brian? We played Eureka after there was an earthquake there. It's like the elements shake up and wipe out the town we're getting ready to go to a lot of time. But we always had to, but we have driven in hurricanes and tropical storms a lot. We've seen some horrendous car wrecks. The good Lord must have been watching over us all those years, because in all that time we have only been in one accident. Yeah, right. One. In all that time. But what I was getting ready to talk about, you know, sometimes it's seen as kind of like a funny statement that we divorced ourselves from punk rock, but I'm going to explain that a little deeper, man, because the punk rock that we just discovered in the 70s is still my favorite music in the world. The Clash, the Sex Pistols, the Ramones. And then discovering where their stuff came from. The Stooges, the MC5. You know, that ilk. I love all that music, but man, I'm going to tell you what, somewhere along the line, and I'm not quite sure where. I mean, I remember early in Antiseen's history in Charlotte, the breaking up of the groups and the cliques forming. And I know that, you know, when we first started, maybe people thought, well, that name was stupid. That name's stupid, Antiseen. And we were just like, man, early on, man, 83. Now you're talking about, you know, guys that got into this music in 78. And it's already 83, and we're looking at the building of the Tower of Punk Babel, you know. It's like the scene kings, the scene queens, the rules, the standards. The thing I liked about it, and then the thing I still like about it, the Clash could play reggae. Not because someone gave them permission to do so, not because it was okay, not because it put them, you know, on some pedestal. They did it because they loved it and they wanted to do it. And I like the whole no rules aspect of all of it. You know, it's like it didn't have to fit into a mold until later. Then it had to fit into it. They had to look the same. They had to act the same. They had to believe the same. And just, you know, over the last couple of years in particular, the way people could get canceled for saying the wrong thing, even things that you may have said decades ago, gets thrown back up to you. And I'm just like, you know what? Y'all can take your punk rock and you can keep it, because I don't want nothing to do with it anymore. So I've seen the very few times that I ever would post something on here that's slightly political, boy, it's like, you know, like I've said before, they put the boots on, they're coming for the boot party. Never, you know, comment on anything. You don't comment or hit a little blue thumb when I post, you know, Lou Rawls or Rufus Thomas. About 6-10 people. Well, yeah. But I go, oh yeah, you know, I put the backwards or upside down American flag for distress, and oh, here they came, putting on their little jack boots, ready to wait for the big buffalo to go down and start kicking. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Yeah, we got tons of shit for the rebel flag, and some people didn't. Some people didn't. But I liked the punk when it had a sense of humor. It could be sarcastic. You could say things you really didn't mean because it was outrageous. It didn't matter if you meant it or not. It was just for the sake of the song, the sake of the project. And I'm not saying it had to be a joke band, but you know, you can have a sense of humor without being a joke. But see, that's something else that has gone by the wayside: humor. What most people now see as humor is when, you know, an old person falls down on the sidewalk and everyone's got their phones out filming the old guy or old gal trying to get up. You know, that's funny. But my good friend Amy Lynn was posting a story about she was like an admin on one of these punk pages and really getting some good activity for the page. And she was telling me, you know, hey, I post your stuff on there all the time and it gets good reaction. You know, but I know you are divorced from. I was just like, you know, basically that's just us saying, whenever someone throws something back up at us, well, that's not punk. And you go, well, we're not punk. You know, because you got punk stormtroopers running around telling everybody what's punk and what ain't, and whatever. But something happened in the last few days, like right after she told me that. She posted a thing about being she made a post about being, she said, I'm out. So the guy that ran the page just kind of he unfriended her, blocked her, everything, you know, because she wasn't posting enough. Wasn't posting enough. Well, it seems to me like you'd probably have a few people posting, right? And you know, a Mr. Punk Rock Page admin, I just want to say to you, there is this thing. There is this thing that gets in the way of posting on punk pages and even doing projects that are due. It's called life. And some people have to live it. Most of us on here have to work in order to sustain this life that I just brought up. And I don't know. I just know how Amy. Oh, here's Amy right here. She's on now. Let's see. I was expected to post at least 5 things daily. Five things daily. And let me guess, the pay for these 5 posts daily was 0.00. How far off am I on that? I don't know, man. I have very little faith very little respect. I can change that. I have no respect for the institution that calls itself punk rock these days. Antiseen does what Antiseen does. Antiseen welcomes one, Antiseen welcomes all. So you got harassment, Amy, if your posts were not good enough. These are the people that carry the banners and lead the parade for punk rock these days. Don't look for old JC to be in your parade. I'm not even going to be on the side watching you. You pass by my window, I may throw something at you, but that's all. That's all you're gonna get from me. Keep your punk rock, because I'm gonna tell you something else, man. All the things that people like to bring up about us, and man, I've said this before, and I know some of you are gonna be like, "Oh, there he goes with all that stuff again." And but man, there's some stuff that just needs to be repeated. Yes, we did use the rebel flag. Now the pro-rebel flag contingent is sore at us for not using it anymore. But it's not our fault that it all of a sudden became a hate symbol. Now, I never saw it as that, but when you're in the playground and the teacher at the playground, which is Facebook, says, "Oh, that's a hate symbol there, Halls," well, then you start throwing it all over the place again, and you get banned. And then, I guess someone would be, "Oh, glad, good, yeah, you made a stand." But now you don't know when our shows are. You don't know what we are up to. I can't talk to you every week. So, give and take. Man, we have encountered just about everything you can with this. And we get blamed for being of a certain ilk of people, but very few people remember. A lot of people don't remember that when the actual racist skinheads, this was back in 1993 or 3. They came to one of our shows one night. They were making a public, and it was kind of like put out there that it was going to happen. They were making like a public stand, like they were going to come and throw their weight around and show everybody who was boss of this damn city. But this is a part of history that does not fit the narrative, because they came to this show flexing, hexing, and goose stepping, and they got squashed. By who? Well, it was by us, Cocknoose, the Cosmic Commander, and Mad Brother Ward Band. We took zero shit. Now, I'm not going to sit there and run down, yeah, Brad at the milestone. The milestone. You remember what all went down. A lot of stuff happened, but that was the last time it happened in Charlotte. And do we get the credit for that? Nope. Nope. We had a black band member. We had a female band member. And I'm not looking for feathers in our cap or pats on the head for all that. But all the IST words that people like to put on us don't have a whole lot of what. Now they may think, well, what about this? What about this right here, son? You need to explain this to me. Point is, we don't have to explain anything. I am 60 years old. I have played in this band 40 of those 60 years. I am done explaining. There will be no more explanations. I mean, as it stands right now, you know, we don't get, you know, no, I'm not going to say none because, you know, we're invited to Beer Olympics. We got invited to Open for Fear, you know, all this kind of stuff. But like the big things, don't nobody ask little old Antiseen to be in it. But man, I stopped being concerned about any of that a long time ago. And I see, you know, when you're flipping through your Facebook on a forklift, you're looking at stuff, man, and all of a sudden, you know, you see all these huge crowds of, you know, buzzhead boys spinning their arms and kicking their feet up in the air and all rubbing up against each other, all looking really angry, singing into one guy's microphone and stuff. I'm just like, you know what, Hoss? Better you than me. There's my main Misky Bill. Said he's popping in before he goes and witnesses some EHG right there in York. Hey, man, tell the boys old JC said hello. Tell Mike and Jimmy, all the boys, you tell them JC said we had a great time Saturday night. Oh, the same place we played. Oh, great. Bill, we're going to be coming back there early in the year. So this time it's going to be with Wrath of Typhon. Oh, yeah. Man, I got more declarations to make, but I don't really feel like making them. Like, damn, Jeff Clayton, you got something started. You gotta tell me something, mofo. Well, now, you know what? I want to point out something. You see right there, Misky Bill. He says, yeah, I'm glad y'all, or he didn't say glad. He said, right on, man. Awesome. Glad y'all are coming. And I said, we're going to play with Wrath of Typhon. You know what he said? I'm there regardless. But you know why? Because he's a fan. He's not a guy that comes up and goes, oh, yeah, I'm a big Antiseen fan. And I have a band called Regurgitated Goat Feces. And, man, we'd love to open for y'all, man. We have, you know, neon pentagrams and we do a mock sacrificial ritual to the horn god, man. We fit in great with you guys. You fit in great. Okay. Malcolm's bringing up that we cover Sun Ra and Curtis Mayfield, but man, that's a card we can't use. The only reason you covered that Curtis Mayfield because it allowed you to say the N-word. Okay, all right, well, we can't win. We can't win. But but man, the thing, I guess the point I'm trying to make all the way around is like, you know, how can you have someone, and now I know Amy pretty good, just from the times we've seen each other in person, and you know, looking at her post. I mean, so I don't know her like one of my cousins or something, but but to be ousted from a page where you are doing the work and doing your work enthusiastically, but you just can't keep up with their demand. I don't know, man. I don't know. What are y'all talking about now? We can fix that, but you may regret it. It's for an algorithm. Well, what are y'all even talking about? Let me go up a little bit and look. Sorry, y'all. Oh, well. Get down there. Okay. No, like a cousin. Nah, man. Every time we see you and Terry, we have a good time. So, man, we know that when y'all show up to a show, it's going to be a fun time. Even if y'all are the only ones that show up. Well, y'all, I guess I'm going to wrap it up here. Please, contact me. On my personal messages, direct messages. Tell me some stuff you want to hear about. I feel like I'm just like regurgitating the same stuff over and over and over again sometimes. I mean, I guess I will be, because there's no new history. But I don't know, Christian, you asked me a question right here as I'm signing off, man. What's the one show you wish you could relive? Let me think about that, man. I would want to relive them for a different reason. I want to relive them because I would want to do stuff different or do stuff better. I mean, Brad, your Pam Grier shirt went in the mail today, Hoss. Anybody else wants to look sharp like this? Now, I can't promise you're going to look as good as I do in this. But I'll tell you what, you can look close. You can look real close. Get you one of these. And remember what I said. Remember what I said about you seeing Antiseen some cold-hearted green. And you're going to see what we mean. Well, Wesley, I appreciate you. Terry, I appreciate it. Thanks for explaining to me the thing about algorithms. I hear that word a lot. I don't know what it means. I mean, I don't know what it means to me. I mean, we try to post stuff a lot, but sometimes we go a few days. All right. I'm going to stop reading so y'all can sit there and look at me reading. But as always, thank you for stopping in and listening to me for a little bit. I know the first half was like a commercial, but the second half, we got in a little bit of talking. Man, I wish... I don't know, man. We'll figure out something someday, some way that I can hear. That you can ask me questions, and we can, and then like the audience can hear your question. I guess I would need another phone for that, so we could have a hotline. And I can answer the hotline. Now, that might not be a bad idea. Yeah, Dale. Great video. Thank you for posting, Hoss. All right. Well, listen. I'm going to sign off, and I want y'all to have a great week. Have a great weekend, man. At the end of this week, the youngest of the kids, Katie, turns 21 this week. Katie, after dark, you predicted the hotline years ago. You foretold of its coming. Well, folks, take care. I love y'all. Whether you're watching with me live right here, or whether you're listening to me late tonight, early in the morning tomorrow, sometime during the week, or if you save them up and want to listen to old JC all day long, man, I appreciate every one of you. And give me ideas. Give me some top 10s. Jamie, I'm going to keep on rocking in this free world as long as I'm able. As long as it still somewhat resembles freedom. Y'all take care. From old JC, here on Break On Through. I'm signing off.